U.S. tourism in 2025 with the full year finally revealed. Oh boy, here we go with this nonsense. I have been waiting for the final statistics towards tourism in America. I have been waiting for this because I know the numbers are high. Oh, I know they are. You ain't gotta tell me. Everybody, thank you so much for joining me today on this beautiful day. I hope you all are healthy and well. All my new supporters joining us for the first time, welcome. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today to check out this BS. Let's jump right into this. Original video link will be down below in the description, along with my Patreon, Twitch, and other YouTube channels. Today we'll be digging deep into the tourism in America, basically. Why everyone is deciding, hey, screw America, we're not going there. Let's go to this country. Let's go here. Let's go here instead. Hey, matter of fact, let's stay in our country. Huh? Let's vacation in our own country. Let's go ahead and figure out why people are making these decisions. Seriously. And it's deeper than money. It's not the prices, guys. It is not the prices. It's straight up just the disrespect. The threats sent from our president to Canada. The way these people, kids, are being treated at the borders, the detention centers. You are holding them. You're not feeding them. I'm seeing videos of kids screaming and stuff from it looked like a sewer, but you could hear them. I don't know where they were being held. What are y'all doing to these people? It's a lot of reckless stuff going on, and ICE is moving like a gang. It's getting crazy, guys. It's getting crazy. It's no more like a border patrol. They are literally walking around harassing people now. I don't know what America is becoming, but it definitely ain't that great America. Apparently it used to be. I mean, I wasn't here around them times. Apparently it used to be great. Apparently, so they say.
All year, there's been a debate about what's really happening to international travel in the United States. Was 2025 just a slow recovery year? A temporary pullback that would fix itself? With nearly a full year of data, that explanation no longer holds. Because globally, travel didn't slow. It grew.
Facts.
And that contrast matters. Numbers through November tell a consistent story. Not driven by one country, one season, or one headline, but by multiple regions moving in the same direction for very different reasons.
And what does she mean by debated? This is highly debated. Who is debating this? You can't debate this. Oh, why nobody traveling to the U.S.? We got people out here arguing as of why we not making no money, why our economy is failing? Bro, y'all gotta watch the news for real, my Americans. For real, bro. I know it's a lot of propaganda within the newspapers, the articles we see online, the news, certain stations, certain medias and stuff, but not all of it is false. You know what I'm saying? The numbers are speaking for itself. Numbers don't lie. Facts. This is mathematics. It don't lie.
But by multiple regions moving in the same direction for very different reasons. Some travelers pulled back quietly. Others never returned the way forecasts expected. And in places where arrivals stabilized, spending dropped instead. What the numbers show isn't a short-term dip or a delayed recovery. It's a shift in how international travelers are choosing the United States. And that shift is now impossible to ignore. In this video, we look at how international travel to the U.S. changed, and why that pattern matters more than the headlines. Let's start with Canada, the largest source of international tourism to the United States, and the earliest sign of
especially Canada. You know Canada was the first to pull back, especially since they were antagonized. They were antagonized, man. The threats sent towards them. Yes, I understand China, Mexico, they were antagonized as well, Yeah. But it was different for Canada. It was a little different. It was more of I want you. I want your country. I want it. Everybody else got the tariffs. Canada got the tariffs, but they got the threats. They got this and that and that. Annexation is crazy, bro.
The largest source of international tourism to the United States, and the earliest sign of a broader shift. About a quarter of all overseas visits to the U.S. come from Canada. But that changed at the start of 2025. In January and February, Canadian travel into the U.S. fell by double digits. Both land crossings and air travel declined at the same time, an unusual pattern outside of major global disruptions. At the time, many assumed it would correct itself. It didn't. Canadian travel stayed lower month after month with no seasonal rebound. And instead of recovering during the summer, the decline deepened. In the third quarter, the heart of peak travel season, Canadian arrivals were down nearly 30% compared to the year before. The weakness held across both
Yeah,
land.
facts. Year before was good. The only time that the U.S. has seen less travel, like our economy plummeting, and this is everywhere, like where we didn't see the numbers this high for travelers, was quarantine. And that was quarantine.
Crossings and air travel, breaking the pattern of quick recoveries seen in the past. Canadians didn't stop traveling. Domestic and overseas trips to other destinations continued to recover. The pullback was specific to the United States. As the year progressed, the impact spread beyond border regions. Major destinations that rely heavily on Canadian visitors, including New York, California, and Florida, began seeing fewer repeat trips and shorter stays. By November, the pattern was no longer ambiguous. Canada didn't pause and then return. It pulled back early, and it stayed there. And once that held through the year, it became the first clear sign of a broader pattern beyond North America. Western Europe was expected to be a stabilizing force for U.S. travel in 2025. These are experienced travelers with a long history of visiting the United States. Instead, Germany finished the year with arrivals down in the double digits. Switzerland, France, and the Netherlands followed with significant declines and no meaningful recovery. Tourism visas fell. Total arrivals stayed below prior year levels. And unlike short-term disruptions, the pullback held as the year neared its end.
Hey, some of these Americans is the reason that these numbers are low as well. We got some Americans that don't support what's going on within the country, and they're pulling back as well, and they're supporting other countries. Hey, you guys want to go to Greece? You go to Italy? Italy, you know what I'm saying? Facts, bro. We got people going to Australia. Strac, I was going to go to Miami, this summer, me and my family, but we decided to go ahead and wait a few more months. We're going to go ahead and actually travel to Australia. Australia? You went from the US to Australia? God bless you. Congratulations, Facts. I'm so happy for you. No, I'm not even being sarcastic. Facts. That's beautiful. Congratulations. I'm so happy for y'all. Because a lot of people are deciding, wait, we know the states are beautiful. There's a lot of places to go within the states, But we got a lot of people wait a minute. Yeah, the states are beautiful, but there's nicer places out there in the world. We could go to another country and experience and explore and have fun. We don't need to go to the US. We could go to another country that looks even better than the US, and they still speak English. That's an option, Or we could go to another country where they don't speak English and still have a better time. This is decisions that people are making. So if you are deciding, you, your friends, family, or just alone, to travel somewhere else that you have never even thought about before. Maybe it's it's your first time and you were really excited, a dream place, somewhere that somebody has always imagined going before, one of the countries within Europe, Australia, one of the countries within Africa, stuff like that, guys, Canada, then go for it. It's an amazing decision, People are so stuck in their circle and their ways and traveling to the States every year. So you might as well go out and explore, see what the world has to offer. And I feel like this is good for the people, This is really good for the people, including the Americans who are so stuck in their ways and just staying in their country, They just don't agree with what's going on. So they're like, I will leave. It's just
and unlike short-term disruptions, the pullback held as the
blows
year
my
neared
mind.
its end. What separated Western Europe from other regions wasn't affordability. It was confidence. Throughout 2025, stories about heightened border scrutiny, secondary inspections, and traveler detentions circulated widely in European media. They didn't stop travel entirely, but they changed the calculation. For discretionary overseas trips, uncertainty matters. Travelers didn't cancel vacations. They redirected them. That redirection becomes clear when you look at the broader context. In 2025, global travel expanded. Many major destinations saw rising international arrivals. Against that backdrop, Western Europe's performance in the U.S. stands out. Some markets, like the UK and Spain, didn't collapse. They were largely flat. But in a growth year, flat isn't neutral. It means falling behind. By the end of 2025, the expected European rebound never arrived. And for the U.S., that mattered, because these are some of its most consistent, high-value international visitors. What came next made the pattern even harder to dismiss, especially when you look north at how a different part of Europe responded. Every major Northern European country sent fewer visitors to the United States in 2025 than the year before. Denmark was the clearest example. By the end of the year, Danish arrivals were down by 23%, a meaningful decline for a stable, high-travel country. Norway, Sweden, and Finland followed the same direction. Their declines were smaller but consistent, and they held through the year. This wasn't a collapse, but it was visible, measurable, and sustained.
Yeah.
What makes Northern Europe important is who these travelers are. They are wealthy, frequent international travelers with plenty of options. And in 2025, they continued to travel, just less often, to the United States. This wasn't a cost-driven pullback. It was a quiet shift in travel preference.
Yep.
Throughout the year, travel advisories, widely reported detentions, and heightened political tension added friction to U.S. travel planning. Not enough to stop travel entirely, but enough to change destination choice. At the same time, alternatives felt easier and more predictable. Travel within Europe grew. Southern Europe absorbed demand. Asia rebounded.
Oh.
In that context, the United States didn't lose access. It lost relative appeal. And when even stable, high-confidence countries begin pulling back, it reinforces the broader shift already visible elsewhere. At this point, you could argue the decline was limited to nearby countries, short trips, regional travel, places with easy alternatives. But long-haul travelers tell a different story. Travelers from Asia and Oceania typically plan far ahead, commit more time, and spend more per trip. These aren't spontaneous journeys, they're deliberate decisions.
Facts.
And in 2025, fewer of those travelers chose the United States. From Australia and New Zealand, arrivals declined compared to the year before. Across much of Asia, the pattern was similar. With only a small number of exceptions, notably Japan and Taiwan, most long-haul countries sent fewer visitors to the U.S., not more. This wasn't because long-haul travel slowed globally. It didn't. People were still flying across continents. They were still taking extended trips. They were just choosing different destinations.
Yeah.
That matters because long-haul visitors play an outsized role in travel. They stay longer, spend more per visit, and drive revenue well beyond raw arrival counts.
Guys, I used to work in retail. Those foreigners, like the travelers, the people that are coming from other countries, especially those wealthy countries, they are coming to spend money. I'll be ringing them up. They are coming to ball out. They came with an extra suitcase. You know what I'm saying? Specifically for the stuff that they have bought in the States. Like, they come shopping. It's bigger. You spent all this for the vacation, your hotel, this, that, excursions and dinners and, what else? Traveling. Ubers and stuff, expensive, by the way. It costs to get around no matter where you are in the U.S. Ubers and taxis and stuff. Unless you're in the city, you can really catch like $1 cab, $1 van. But they are shopping for real. It had me thinking at a certain time, like, are their clothes different? Are their clothes in the U.S. better or something? Because, boy, I feel like everyone does it. Go shop in another country a little bit. But they really come out here and they spend like $500 on clothes. Like, how you getting this back on a plane? A lot of stuff we was overlooking, man. A lot of extra stuff that these travelers did that helped our economy as well. These people come with their vacation planned out, mapped out. I got the money for this. We're going to spend money on this, that. Man, they come in with extra money to literally shop.
So when this group softens, the impact is structural, not cosmetic. By the end of 2025, the pattern was clear. The pullback wasn't limited to neighbors or short stays. Even travelers who usually come regardless were choosing differently.
Yeah.
And that shift explains why the next story isn't just about arrivals. It's about spending. By the second half of 2025, one thing became harder to ignore. Even in places where visitor counts appeared to stabilize, the money wasn't following. Spending was falling faster than arrivals. That wasn't random. It was about who was missing. Short cross-border trips from Canada disappeared. European visitors stayed fewer nights. And long-haul travelers, the ones who usually stay the longest and spend the most, showed up less often. When that happens, revenue drops even if headcounts don't collapse. Some countries did send more travelers. Argentina is one example. Arrivals from Argentina rose by roughly 16%. But those gains couldn't offset what was lost. A modest increase from a smaller long-haul country doesn't replace millions of short trips from Canada or extended stays from Europe and Asia.
Yeah.
Volume matters, frequency matters, length of stay matters. This is why 2025 looked misleading on the surface. You could point to arrival numbers and argue the situation wasn't catastrophic, but spending told a different story. Hotels felt it first: shorter stays, lower per visit spend. Restaurants, attractions, and local businesses felt it next. The issue wasn't just fewer visitors. It was fewer of the visitors who drive tourism revenue. And once spending starts falling faster than arrivals, the impact stops being abstract. It becomes local, which is why the effects showed up first in border states.
Let's be real. How often are the locals giving you the money? That much money. We're locals. I may run to the store. I may see you like once every couple months or something. Go grab this or that. I'm not taking no trip out here. Doing stuff like that, like how these people are doing. I'm not spending money like that out here, buying stuff like how these people are when they go on trips. Man, I'm spending that type of money in the holidays, Christmas and stuff like that. All that nonsense, buying gifts and stuff. I don't even like that. Like, they come with bags. We are missing out right now. And this is what I was saying, this whole situation is causing people to just expand. Go out to other countries rather than just settling for the US, especially if you don't agree with what's going on. Everybody is open and free to their own opinion. And this is why we have people deciding, hey, we don't need to go to the US. Let's go here.
It becomes local, which is why the effects showed up first in border states and gateway cities.
Yup.
The places most exposed to international travel. The impact of declining tourism doesn't stay on paper. It shows up in paychecks, storefronts, and daily life. In border towns, the effects arrived first and hardest. Communities built around routine cross-border travel saw traffic dry up month after month.
Oh, yeah.
Fewer day trips meant fewer meals served, fewer hotel nights booked, and fewer shifts for workers who depend on steady visitor flow. For many small businesses, there was little margin for error. Reduced hours became common. Seasonal staff weren't rehired. Some family-run shops and restaurants simply didn't make it through the year.
It's so sad. And you want to know the people that experienced this? The people out there upstate New York in Buffalo, the people right there off of that border coming from Canada. Because even Canadians, like the locals in Canada, it was their very own decision to cross the border, cross the bridge, and which yet again is supporting the US. You got to pay tolls. They're crossing over. They're going and supporting mom and pop businesses, little shops and, restaurants and stuff, local supermarkets. And all these people literally cannot eat or survive because they're not getting that support anymore from their fellow Canadians. And what are they doing? They're wasting the money that they should be saving. They're wasting the money that they should be saving, trying to name their streets after Canada. Maple Drive? Really? Really? I mean, seriously, guys. That's not going to work. You guys are naming the streets out there in New York like stuff after Canada, stuff related to Canada. How are Canadians even going to see that? They are your number one supporters. How are they supposed to see that if they're not coming here? And these were the first people right there, right off of that border. They were the first people to experience this change. The first to experience it all. And that's when it begun. When I start hearing about smaller businesses, I'm watching interviews. They've been running that business for 20 plus years. Out of business. What? Imagine out of business? You thinking everything is steady, you're living a good life, and 20 years later, out of business. You can't pay your bills. You got to get a loan. Oh, my guys, this is crazy, man. But America, it's not our fault. All the people out there in other countries, I know you guys don't dislike us. You dislike the leader and the person that is doing all of this. We can't do nothing about it, man. That's why I'm saying, like, my Americans, I keep trying to change stuff and win them back over. That just makes you look guilty. Nobody said the Canadians, they ain't stopped coming here because of you. They ain't stopped coming here because they didn't like you or disliked your business or this or that or wanted to hurt you, see you fail. No. Damn, everybody was in on it? I'm like, everybody? Like, what I'm saying? No. It's the leader. And we can't do nothing about that at all. But just go with the flow of this whole phase. Advertisements, everybody. when I tell you everybody is experiencing a change, everybody, guys, even the self-employed content creators, for example, they're experiencing it as well. For sure. Because advertisements, certain countries are pulling back from the US, which means ad revenue, a lot of stuff that countries offer to the US, they're starting to pull back on it. They're not really spending as much money, should I say, to advertise out here. It's just not going to work. And their business sure isn't going to flow either. You advertise in the US for.
Weren't rehired. Some family-run shops and restaurants simply didn't make it through the year.
Sad,
and the impact
bro.
didn't stop at the border.
Right.
Major destination states like Florida, New York, and California began feeling the strain as international travel softened.
Times Square's empty.
Fewer long stays meant fewer hotel nights. Lower per-visitor spending rippled through restaurants, attractions, and local transportation. Tourism agencies warned of billions in lost economic activity as international demand weakened. But behind those projections were real people, housekeepers, servers, tour guides, drivers, seeing fewer hours and less income. This wasn't about politics or policy debates. It was about livelihoods. When international tourism slows, the damage doesn't hit spreadsheets first. It hits communities.
Oh, yeah.
And by the end of 2025, the consequences were no longer theoretical. They were visible, town by town, city by city, wherever tourism once filled the gaps. By the end of 2025, the decline was no longer just about flights or hotel bookings. It reflected something broader. Across multiple regions, confidence in the United States softened. Not overnight, not because of one event, but through a steady accumulation of friction, tariffs, political tension, border scrutiny, and a growing sense of unpredictability.
I mean, let's be real. I don't want to say everybody had an issue with America or Americans, but we just made it worse. They already had their thoughts on Americans. Everybody already had their thoughts on America and how we are, what the country's like, people self-centered, think you're the best in the world, stuff like that. It just made it worse. But we can't say that just came out the blue and these people just now started feeling the type of way. They just started feeling even more of a type of way about us. Yeah.
Political tension, border scrutiny, and a growing sense of unpredictability. Public opinion data showed U.S. favorability falling across much of Europe, Canada, and parts of Asia. Trust in U.S. leadership weakened in many of the same countries where travel declined. These trends didn't stop people from traveling, but they changed how people felt about choosing the United States.
Yeah.
And in travel, perception matters. Tourism is discretionary. When confidence drops, travelers hesitate. They choose destinations that feel easier, calmer, and more predictable. That's what makes the shift in 2025 so important. The United States is preparing to host major global events, including the FIFA World Cup in 2026. Makes the shift in 2025 so important. The United States is preparing to host major global events, including the FIFA World Cup in 2026.
Bet not. Oh my gosh, the FIFA World Cup in 2026. Can one of you guys please? One of these countries, please. Save it. Don't give it to us. Do not put it in our hands. Because I can tell you right now, no. These people going to watch from home. They're going to watch from home and you're going to ruin everyone's experience. Damn, FIFA. FIFA being held. Who going to come here and watch that? That's what I'm saying. Like, another country got to hold this. And make some type of agreement with the U.S. to split that revenue or something. The U.S. still going to lose out on money. But hey, it's going to work better than us just doing this. It got to be under the table agreement with another country or something. Hey, you host the FIFA. You know, these people going to travel to your country before us. You better hope that country don't screw us over and take all the money. Because what do that country really owe us, honestly? Especially if we're handing it over. Here, you host it. All right.
Events that rely on openness,
I don't think they should. I don't.
and global enthusiasm.
How y'all feel about that, man? Are y'all coming to the U.S. to watch FIFA? What? I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
National sentiment continues to slide, the impact won't just be fewer tourists. It will be missed opportunity on a global stage. What 2025 confirmed is this. U.S. tourism didn't stumble because demand disappeared. It shifted because confidence changed. And unless that confidence is rebuilt, the decline won't correct itself naturally. That's the year-end verdict. If you felt this shift as a traveler, or seen it where you live, share your experience in the comments. Different perspectives matter here. Thanks.
This makes me wanna, semi-travel around the US just to get a glimpse of what it's like walking the boardwalks. Going to Miami, Venice Beach, walking the Strip, going to LA, Hollywood Boulevard, going to these different places and seeing like Times Square, Manhattan, how empty it is. Cause boy, I've been seeing Times Square, the whole city's empty. How is the city even making any money? How is the city even making any money? And not for nothing, we getting all of our electricity for the city, for the skyscrapers, the buildings, the advertising, all that. All those lights, all of that is coming from Canada's energy supply. They are literally the water. You know how they got like the dams and stuff. The water, it creates the energy and everything. If somebody actually wants to break that down better for me in the comments, please feel free. Please feel free to do that. So I can understand it a little bit better as far as like how the process goes. But Canada use that. They are creating that energy and they are sending it here. And Canada is the closest ally. We can't get it from no other country. Speed of light. Canada is right next to us. I mean, the speed of light is crazy. But coming from another country, oh my gosh. You know how long it might take? You know how much money that's actually going to cost? How are you even going to be able to get it from such country to America? We need Canada. We literally need Canada. That city does not light up without Canada. And when I learned that, I was like, what? Y'all acting reckless. Y'all better relax for Canada cut that off. For they cut that power supply off, and then what? The whole city go black. Black. That's a blackout. And then what? What do people do when there's blackouts in America? They take advantage, especially at night. They get to robbing and scheming and beating and this and everything. It's not gonna work. We are literally screwed. We gotta become their friends again. We gotta do everything in the power to win back all these countries. It's more than just Canada, Mexico, China. Man, we owe all these other countries apologies too. Because what is this? They're not even involved in it. And they're like, hey, we're not supporting you. Why? Because they are allies with such people that we are allies with as well. And we're just screwing it up. Like, all right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today to check out this amazing video explaining U.S. tourism in 2025 with the full year finally revealed, man. Numbers don't lie. I will always forever preach that. Mathematics, facts, these are things that you cannot change. These are things that cannot be changed at all. Seriously. These are things that can't be debated. That's another word I was looking for. Who the hell is debating this? She said at the beginning of the video, it's highly debated. By who? Everyone feel free to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications on. Feel free to check out the original video link down below in the description, as well as my Twitch, Patreon, and other YouTube channels. Once again, I love you all so much. Feel free to share your honest thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. I'm sorry, this is a long one. 30-minute video, man. I'm sorry, but like I said, I wanted to dive into this, break it down, just like how she did in the video, and share some of my honest thoughts and opinions on this nonsense. Let me know what country you guys are deciding to visit in the comment section down below. I already know you're rebooking. I already know you canceled your trip and you and your family going somewhere else. Let me know in the comments where. Please let me know. It's a big world. I'm hearing about countries I never heard of before in the comments. Facts. Hey, Strac, we're not going to LA no more. We're going here. I'm like, what? I got me looking up countries and stuff that I never heard of. It's a big world, man.